Okay, so ngayon po puntahan natin ang school head checklist again. Ang tignan naman po natin ngayon ay yung opening block. Okay, so nasa page 6 po ako ng inyong mga handouts. Sa next slide pa pa. Yes. Lunch opening block. Yan, okay. So, dito po sa opening block, nakita po natin may mga checklist. May mga similar headers po dun sa before the start of classes. Pero ito, start of classes na talaga. So, under the start of classes, I'm sure ginagawa nyo na to. Usually, no, you confirm that class schedules are followed, confirm that teacher assignments are implemented, resolve issues in rooms and materials and class lists. Ayan, alam na alam, kabisado nyo yan, alam ko po. And then, yung next ay we protect the instructional time. So, ito po yung gusto naming matandaan natin ngayong sa buong araw na to, that in the 3-term calendar, yung instructional time po ay we do our best talaga na maging instructional time siya. Okay? So, in your schools, it would be helpful if you could identify ano ba in your experience yung mga usual na nagiging disruptions. This ano kaya yung mga ways para ma-minimize or ma-eliminate yung mga disruptions na yon. So, yung mga nakalista po dito, how can we stop the insertion of activities during class hours? How do we monitor the daily class implementation? And then there are also bullets here listed under support lesson planning. Yan. So it's important for us as school heads to know the principles of lesson planning, and also for us to identify ways in order to empower our teachers on how to use their agency in their classroom. So mamaya po mas ipapaliwanag ng mabuti kung ano-ano ba tong mga susundan natin na prinsipyo ng lesson planning. Okay, and then we have here in the list, we need to conduct diagnostic assessment. So sabi po natin kanina dun sa Mentimeter, di ba, opening block is the time when we set the baseline information. Okay, so wag po natin kakaligtaan, we set the schedule for our mga assessments. Sa yung mga BOCE assessments po natin, make sure that they are scheduled accordingly. And then, based on the BOCE results, we align the succeeding assessments, yung mga formative assessments po natin, paano pa natin sila i-implement na knowing yung mga results ng ating mga BOCE assessments. And based on those results as well, we identify the learners who might be needing additional support, and also identify kung ano yung mga program na pupwede sa kanila. So for example, nandiyan po yung aral, and then meron din po tayong mga programs na targeted para dun sa mga results ng ating mga nutritional assessment and other BLSS assessments. Okay, and there are also items in the list for us to prepare for disruptions. Earlier discussed na po ito, and how to support the senior high school if you are offering senior high school programs, and how to engage our stakeholders. So dito po sa opening block, at this time, let's dig deeper into the items on supporting lesson planning, and then later on supporting the senior high school programs. So with that po, ibalik ko po ang mikropono kay Director Gerson.
Pasada. Thank you, Director Angel. So dito sa supporting lesson planning, as you can see here, yung mga actions na nakalagay, check that teachers are using the official lesson planning standards, provide immediate feedback to teachers, and start LAC sessions focused on lesson planning. So you could imagine these as essentially, because we are shifting how we do lesson planning from mere compliance to actually a way to support the teacher's continuous process of developing and designing lessons. Kailangan po sa simula pa lang sa opening block, we have to start and establish those routines early on. Hindi naman po ibig sabihin sa opening block lang lesson planning yung teachers. As we know, it's a continuous process. I'm not sure in your schools, but in some of the schools that we visited and we interviewed, what they do is it's a weekly checking, tama po ba, that the teachers submit the lesson plans Monday, I think, Monday morning, and then si master teachers together with the school heads, you check the lesson plans throughout the week. And then afterwards, balik lang paulit-ulit po siya. So this is your chance now before before we start our opening block. Ngayon po siguro as we go deep into the lesson planning policy, the invitation is how can you as a school head redefine how we do lesson planning from merely checking multiple entries and papers to really supporting the teachers so that they could be purposeful designers of learning experiences. Meaning talagang nasusuportahan yung pagturo nila para tayo po bilang school heads napapanindigan natin yung instructional leadership that's part of our work. And I do acknowledge that we have different sizes of schools. That's why you're not alone as a school head. You don't have to physically or you don't have to be the one to check the lesson plans for all of your teachers. You're a team of teachers as well. You have a team of master teachers, of head teachers, department coordinators. It's really their job of the school head to establish the routine and the system. Ano po yung sistema na yon? That's what we could discuss now. Oh, wala. Ayan po. Sige, next slide tayo. Let's do a deeper look at lesson planning. Next slide. Oh. Before we go into lesson planning, also note that we do have budgets of work already for the 3-term calendar. It's part of the website that we shared with you, yung tiny URL, nandun po sila. And so if you're going to ask your teachers to start preparing or if you're going to think about the design or the system for lesson planning, please encourage or present this as your source material for lesson planning. Nandito po yung content standards, yung performance standards. It's the same content from the curriculum guides but then rearranged lang sila so that it fits the 3-term calendar budget of work. Ayun. Just to note also, we've been getting a lot of worried feedback saying na the budget of work doesn't strictly apply to them. They have different schedules of pag-slice ng learning competencies. Again po, yung curriculum po natin, there's a lot of, you do have freedom as schools and as teachers to decide in terms of the scheduling of competencies. Hindi po ito strict schedule in delivering instruction. This is a starting point or a guide. Maganda rin pong i-remind natin yun ang ating teachers, right? Of course, if you want to follow it to a T, if it provides safety and stability, you could use the budget of work as your base material. Pero ang totoo naman po talaga, and lahat naman po tayo karamihan po sa atin nagturo rin, kapag tayo ay nagturo at kapag tayo ay nagturo ng 5 or 6 sections, minsan iba-iba yung pace nila, right? We adjust based on our learners. Or kunyari, pag nagkaroon ng disruption or kapag nagkaroon ng nakita natin, mas mabilis yung biglang we prepared a 2-session lesson, but then we finished it in one. Sometimes our learners surprise us that way as well. Teachers adjust, right, in terms of delivery. So just keep that in mind, that the budget of work is not here to para ikahon ang ating mga learners, ang ating teachers. This is a starting point for planning. Next slide po. Ayun. So here's the key highlights for the new policy. We call it lesson planning and learning design. Ang big shift po talaga dito ay una muna, less paperwork po siya. Kung kayang digital, let's go digital. Para hindi na po printed, hindi na marami. Meron pa po kaming nababalitaan that teachers who are required to handwrite their lesson plans, please, let's try our best to support our teachers and not to make them do handwritten lesson plans anymore. It's not only is it not parang evidence-based practice, it also adds more burden to the teachers, right? So yun po talaga, it's trying to streamline the lesson planning process in terms of the format, in terms of what's required. We want to introduce and also strengthen the idea that teachers are designers. Sila po ay lumilok ng ano yung karanasan ng mga bata from start to end. That's what lesson planning is about. It could be 5 E's, 5 A's, 6 8's, 4 E's, ang daming mga lesson plan. Kayo po bahala doon. It's really up to you. These are merely models. As long as they abide by, a certain quality standard, and I'll share that with you later, what quality looks like, teachers can adjust. You as a school, you could use whatever framework that you deem worthy, or kayo po bahala talaga doon. We do have lesson exemplars from the Bureau of Learning Delivery. Again, you could use those as starting points, but hindi po they're not meant to be a script that teachers follow 100%. A lesson plan is more valuable if a teacher knows the intention of the lesson plan. Hindi naman po si teacher, I'm sure siguro kung novice teacher, magtuturo siya sa harap, binabasa pa niya yung lesson plan. But eventually, the goal is when a teacher does the lesson planning, hindi na niya kailangang tingnan yung lesson plan kasi napag-isipan na niya kung ano yung materials, ano yung assessment, ano yung experiences, ano yung flow, etc. Ito yung learning design principles that I'll share with you in a bit. And we try to streamline the lesson planning template now into something called ilaw. 4 parts lang siya, which actually the old lesson plan template satisfies. So makikita nyo rin mamaya kung paano natin sinimplify yung lesson planning. And lastly, ito po siguro pinakamahalaga para sa ating mga school heads. I'd like to get everyone's attention, please. School heads, napakalaki po ng role natin in supporting teachers, particularly in designing instructional leadership practices in our schools. I know sometimes it's hard if you're handling a set of faculty members and you have much more senior faculty that are quite unsupportive or sometimes competitive even. Sometimes they feel threatened, sometimes they're not as collaborative. Napakahirap po talaga baguhin ng culture na yun. And this is, I think, what we're trying to achieve together in our schools is how can we make instructional supervision less of something para mapahiya yung mga younger teachers or para mapasunod sila, but it's more about how could we instill a collaborative culture. So that way, eventually, ang best scene po siguro namin dito, imagine a school wherein teachers are sharing lesson plans freely. So that way, nafe-free up yung load nila. Ikaw muna teach sa Chair, ikaw sa week 1, tapos ako sa week 2, tapos mag-share na lang po tayo. Gumagaan yung buhay, or nagsishare ng resources, or, ma'am, ano naman po, pwede niyong bisitahin yung class ko, medyo nahihirapan po ako dito, may advice ka ba on XYZ? Mas ganun po sana yung makuha natin na instructional supervision and coaching. And I know it's you have your different cultures and you have your different organizational styles and your leadership styles. Naniniwala po kami that you probably know best how to do it in your respective schools. Sige, next slide tayo. This is what the updated lesson planning template might look like. Baka nakita niyo yung older versions. This is still evolving. So ito yung latest version. Ang gusto ko pong i-highlight dito, hindi siya different masyado doon sa DLP or DLL. It contains the usual elements. Pero para po sa amin, lesson planning usually just needs 4 elements. 4 na bahagi. I would be intentions. Ano ba yung learning goals? Sometimes we learn, especially from the teachers, na kinokopya lang naman nila yung performance standard, content standard. Hindi naman siya ganun kahalaga sa actual lesson planning kasi may learning competencies na po. So we listen to that. You don't have to copy and paste all competency and performance standards there. As long as the lesson plan has the intentions, what's the learning goal, and we know some learning competencies need to be unpacked further. Some learning competencies are already granular. Yun na po yun. Basta malinaw kung ano yung I, intentions. The next one is L. Next slide. L is the learning experience. Malinaw yung flow. Ano yung starting point, ano yung materials na gagamitin, ano yung mechanics, ano yung steps. You see this in the DLP and the DLL. It's the same methods. Yeah? Nandito yung flow, nandito yung pre-lesson, ano yung resources, ano yung opportunities for integration. Yeah? So that's the learning experience. Ang tip ko po dito, what makes a good learning experience part of a lesson plan is if another teacher reads this section and they understand and they can implement the lesson themselves, then it's a well-written and well-detailed lesson plan, right? Kung bullets po ba siya or narrative, wala na po tayong ano doon. It's really up to the teacher. We're not gonna be too prescriptive on those things. Kung 5 A's ba yan or 6 E's or 8 8's or kung ano pang iba pang mga lesson formulas, kayo na po bahala doon. Or we let the teachers also build their own vocabulary or their style as well. Next. So ilaw, A is assessment. We want to clarify that this is not at the end of, not only at the end of the lesson, but this can be embedded throughout as well. So A is how do we gather evidence in this particular lesson where the learners are learning, if learners are learning. And lastly, ways forward. Ito po yung reflection part that we asked from our teachers. Ano yung natutuhan ko nung tinuro ko? How do I adjust? What have I learned from my learners? How can I extend the learning opportunities? So this way, if we streamline the lesson planning into these 4 steps lang, basta malinaw yung intentions, malinaw yung learning experience, malinaw yung assessment, at malinaw yung ways forward, you could still use the DLP or DLL, just, copy, paste, or change it up for a bit. It's still the same lesson plan. That way, it just makes the lesson plan a bit more easier to understand and also less cumbersome for our teachers to create. If it's less cumbersome for teachers to create, kayo rin po bilang mga school heads, if you're going to check lesson plans, you're not going to go through ganito kakapal na lesson plans every day. At least as long as you see the intention, the learning experience, the assessment, and the ways forward, it should be a good lesson plan already. I'd like to highlight though, can you go back 2 slides po? Ayan. Dito sa taas, sa simula lang, so it's the name of the lesson, learning area designed by teacher or teachers. So this again, we want to champion if we want to recommend and highly encourage collaborative lesson planning, right? Designed for which grade level and section, number of sessions also here. Hindi lang tayo nakakahon sa weekly. If you want to make a lesson plan for 3 sessions, okay yun. A lesson plan for 1 session, okay yun. A lesson plan for 5 sessions, okay lang rin po yun. So again, it's going to be a bit more freer para sa ating mga teachers. And lastly, references and declaration of AI use. So if a teacher used AI to edit the language, please declare it. If they use AI to generate ideas for assessment, declare it. In the policy, there are acceptable use cases. Ang ilang halimbawa po, we will actually encourage teachers to use generative AI. For example, isa pong use case, differentiation. If a teacher can use artificial intelligence tools, para po, you could prompt the AI tool to say, I am teaching this learning competency, let's say addition of 2-digit numbers, for example, and I have these types of learners, beginner learners, advanced learners. Can you give me 5 ideas for lesson activities that I could facilitate in smaller groups so that way I could differentiate my learners? That's one way of how our teachers are already using artificial intelligence. And that's one way for us to also encourage the use of technology in a more responsible way. What we do discourage and actually prohibit, ito po yung bawal para po sa ating lahat, ay kapag si teacher nag-generate lang ng full lesson plan at yung kung ano yung na-release sa AI, yun na yung sinabit niya. There has to be a human intervention and editing ni teacher. AI doesn't know who the learners are. AI doesn't care about the learners, right? The teacher has to provide that sense of context pa rin. So mahalaga pa rin para sa ating mga guro na kailangan nilang makita yung unang resulta ng AI at saka nila siya i-adapt or i-adjust, etc. Ayun rin po. Yeah. Next. Sige, punta tayo sa next slide. Ayun. Ito po yung learning design principles, and this is part of the briefer. This will be, you'll see this in multiple policies, but this is essentially how we will start to define what good teaching and learning looks like at DepEd. And probably, these ones you already know. We know what scaffolding is, tama po ba? Yes, it's really how to create activities in such a way that will scaffold learners towards independence. And then eventually they can do things on their own. Initially, may support muna, and then slowly tinatanggal natin yung support, humihirap yung activity until they do it. Ang classic example po niyan, I do, we do, you do. Our teachers know it, you probably know it, that's scaffolding. So these are principles. They're not necessarily a standard teaching strategy. Under each principle, you'll probably know that there are multiple strategies there. As long as a good lesson, what we're using here as a good lesson or a good learning experience has almost all of these things. Metacognition, nabanggit ni Director Esther po kanina, it's as simple as asking the learners, giving them time to reflect after a quiz if they made a mistake. How can I improve? Or what did I do? What mistakes did I do in my quiz? And how can I improve next time I do an assessment? A simple 3 to 5 minute question like that in our learners can actually make a big difference. And there's a lot of resources that BLD will be releasing. May teaching strategies cards na po kami dito para kapag si teacher gumawa ng lesson plan, meron na siyang mga mapupul na mga teaching strategies under these learning design principles. So yun po. Hindi po ito pang standardize because how we, for example, clear goals and teaching, there are many ways for us to be clear. Some teachers, maybe how they do it, they begin each lesson with a checklist. Meron po akong ganong teacher, isa sa favorite teachers ko. Isusulat niya yung mga activities na gagawin nila sa start to end. Tapos, i-check niya every time that they finish an activity in the board. That way, malinaw yung progress. That's one. Another one is simply using multimedia or using a explainer video at the beginning of each session. There are teachers who use that to clarify a term or to clarify a concept at the beginning. Yun pa lang po, two different strategies, but they're both aiming for clarity. So kung tayo po as school heads, when we start to maybe provide instructional supervision to our teachers, or when we start to coach our teachers, or when we monitor them in the classroom, it's best to look at these 8 design principles and look for different ways of how our teachers are doing these already. I'm sure our teachers are already doing most of these design principles anyway. It's just going to be a reminder for all of us. Para po siyang, alam niyo po yung sa Rotary Club may 4-way test. Is it the truth? Is it good? Or is it kind? Yun. Magiging ganun rin po sana itong design principles natin. Nag-scaffold ba ako? Did I check for understanding? Was I clear in my goals in my teaching? And then eventually it will become second nature. Yeah. Next slide. Ayun. So ay sige, back muna tayo. So that's essentially, like we said, that's why the lesson planning policy, it's a bit shorter compared to the other policies kasi essentially, it just streamlines the lesson planning process, realigns it towards instructional planning, instructional supervision and coaching, and also introducing a set of design principles para po aligned tayo sa base minimum qualities of what a good learning experience looks like. And then this is a common language that we could all use, especially your master teachers can use these. Kung kayo po nag-classroom observation kayo, you could use these as well. And in our lesson planning policy, we also have tools there on how to engage in coaching conversations para po hindi kabahan yung mga teachers kapag tayo ay bumisita or tayo ay tiningnan natin yung lesson planning nila. Kung time na po for classroom observation, tapos titingnan natin yung lesson planning, instead of checking kung magaling ka ba or hindi, parang it's also helping them develop their own styles and their own strengths as educators.